fun wandering around outside. All right, welcome, one and all. This will just take a couple minutes, it's okay.
Who loves John Glover?
So here we are, everybody, the 34th annual Superman celebration. Here's our big Q&A session with our big Smallville stars. Once again, John Glover, Cassidy Freeman. Guys, thank you very much for coming out today. You've been in town. You get in last night, today?
Last night.
Okay. You've had your first Q&A session, or your first autograph session. How did that go?
Well,
yeah. Everybody treating you okay? No complaints?
Oh yeah. I had a necklace crocheted for me. It was great. It was awesome. Yeah, right there. Yes, thank you. I still am emotional about it. I am.
She wept.
I did.
I guess the gift worked. That's great.
I didn't get a necklace.
You might want to start crocheting right now, okay?
He'd probably wear it more too. What? You would. He loves knitting. It's one of his favorite things. It was crocheted.
Oh, I don't know how to crochet.
No.
Well, maybe you can teach me a little later in the day.
Okay.
We could have that as an event for the celebration, actually. Crocheting.
Yeah.
On the big Superman stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have Supergirl come through to answer some questions or to have you ask your questions and everything. I do want to talk to you guys for a second before we get started. Now we'll be handling a lot of the Smallville stuff out here, of course, but Cassie, I want to talk to you about Longmire a little bit because Longmire just premiered, and it premiered big, didn't it? There was over 4 million viewers for Cassidy's new series, Longmire. It was
Thank you.
Actually the highest-rated new drama and the most-watched original series in the history of A&E, so it's got to be good, right?
It is good. It is good. Thank you. Yeah.
How long have you been working on the series so far?
We shot the pilot a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And then we've been shooting the 10 episodes of this season since the beginning of April.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still there.
Excellent.
Well, I'm here.
Yes.
But I'm there.
But part of you is back there.
Part of me is still there.
Heart back there, but
part of me is still in New Mexico. Yeah.
I was in LA a couple of weeks ago covering the Hero Complex Film Festival, and Peter Weller was there doing a Q&A about RoboCop. And you've worked with Peter as a director.
He came. Yeah. He came. I wasn't in that episode, but he came to New Mexico, and he actually plays a really cool part in the series as well.
Have you experienced the Peter Weller experience yet?
Oh yeah.
Where you ask him, what color shoes you're wearing, and a half hour later you might get around to it.
Yeah. No, he's special. He's an original guy. Yeah. So yeah, I did experience Peter Weller.
I was in Peter Weller's first play with him.
You were?
A play called Rebel Women down at the Public Theater in New York. It was Peter Weller and Eric Roberts. It was both their first jobs. And they used to take showers together with those little skinny shower stalls. Both their girlfriends were waiting for them after the show, and they wanted to rush out, so they would be up in the stall together.
You heard it here first.
They were in their early 20s, and it was quite something to watch.
I love you, Dad.
Very much. Yes.
Now, theater is a big thing for you, isn't it? I mean, 1972 is when you first started on Broadway, right?
Was it 72? No, there was a play that nobody ever speaks of called The Selling of the President that was before that.
Oh,
but I just finished a run Saturday night. A wonderful revival of Death of a Salesman that Mike Nichols directed.
Oh, wow.
This starred Philip Seymour Hoffman and Andrew Garfield, the new Spider-Man, which opens July, something like that.
Look at you.
Yeah. Who goes out now with Emma Stone? Have you all?
Who people think I look like.
Can you imagine them in a shower stall together?
Whew.
Just imagine. It's all right.
It's warm in here.
It is. It's getting hotter and hotter by the minute. Maybe maybe somebody should ask him questions.
I don't know, this is actually pretty good right here, isn't it? I did want to ask you one thing, though, because you got your Tony Award for Love, Lore, Compassion, and then you went on to do the film version.
Yes.
Acting-wise, when you're filling a theater on Broadway and you've got people all the way in the back row that you're performing for, how do you alter do you alter your performance when you're doing a film version and you've got a camera that can be this close?
Yeah, you do. But there's something about the play that was amazing because it was, it was about a house, but there was no house in the play, so everybody imagined the house that they wanted the house to be.
Mm-hmm.
But in the film there was a house, so the film didn't work as well as the play because the imagination got cut off. Live, a lot of you like to go to live theater? Yes, live theater. But films are good too.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's open up for some questions. So let's see some hands here. We'll start up towards the front. And let's go with the fellow in the Superman shirt, see if you can figure out who that is. If it narrows it down any.
Thank you.
Again, I thank you guys for coming. That was really awesome of you. And my question is, read online that Michael Rosenbaum on Smallville used to play a lot of practical jokes, and he was a real jokester. Has he got either one of you? And if he did, please share.
I can't tell those stories.
So the stuff you were telling before is okay, but now he can't talk about that. So it must have been good.
Well, I mean, you'd understand if I were able to tell you why I couldn't tell you.
We'll take this conversation.
But he
offline.
likes to skinny dip.
You heard it here first, folks.
In hotel pools. But late at night.
Do you, Cassidy, do you have any stories about Michael being
I
naked
didn't
in a
meet
pool?
Michael Rosenbaum. I didn't meet him until we shot the finale.
Fully clothed, was he?
No comments.
Oh,
He was clothed, actually. I don't think I got the same amount of pranksterism that maybe dear old Dad did, but I think I also tried to get him a couple times because I heard how much of a prankster he was. So, but yeah, short-lived.
What he does by those kind of jokes and having fun, it makes his performance very alive and wonderful, and working with him because of that sense of humor that he's got and that devilish sense, he's a terrific actor to work with, and we had a great time playing together, and that's what we did. We played with each other. But not
Next question.
You really have to go.
Good night, everybody.
No, you really have
Thank
to go.
you, Metropolis.
They have to wash their minds out with soap, as my mother used to say. You are so filthy-minded. This is terrible. Smallville was a family show. I'm really disappointed in all of you.
Maybe we should take another question. All right, let's see some hands.
Try and clean it up, all right, people?
Let's get this train back on track. I'm going to make you work for it. Got the big fella in the back there standing up there. Well, I said I was going to make her work. All right, that's nice.
Thanks.
I want to first of all thank you so much for coming. It's great to have the people who portray the characters that we love so much come and be so great. So, thank you very much for being here. I've enjoyed both of you immensely on the show. My question is for Mr. Glover. You did such a great job bringing Lionel to life and having that sinister mode, and then you had the redemption, becoming a mentor to Clark. But when you played Lionel from Earth 2, you had a different sense about you. You were evil again, but was there anything specific that you did to differentiate your Earth 2 Lionel from the original Lionel Luthor?
I think what it was my confusion about who I was supposed to be. So you just saw a confused actor up there.
It came off very well.
I thank you. I didn't understand the logic of it or So I guess that's what you saw was that. But I'm glad I fooled you. Yep.
What an honest answer.
It was an honest answer, yeah.
You could have just waxed poetic and you didn't. You were just like, I was confused.
Well, thank you very much for coming again, and I look forward to seeing you when I go through the autographs. So.
Okay, let's have another question. What do we got? Hello. Oh, okay. Oh, back up here. At least this guy's wearing a cape, so let's go ahead and give him a shot here.
He looks a little like George Reeves.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Oh, well.
Part B to the question that was just asked. You were evil and you were good. Which was easier to play? Which one did you enjoy more?
Well, I never saw myself as evil, actually. I tried, and maybe that's what confused people so much. I tried to look at it that Lex was my son wasn't as strong as I needed him to be, to carry on the line. So I was trying to give him tests to make him stronger, which is why I gave him the shock treatment. Basically, to strengthen him. You understand, right? Yeah. But the one attempt that they made to write Lionel as a good person, basically, it was when I was in prison. Do you remember that section when I was in prison? And all of a sudden they tried to write me good, and it didn't work. And it was one of those storylines that they would occasionally, just sort of drop. So it never got finished or anything, but it's because it wasn't working. So it was better than when they wrote me bad and I found ways to trick them and be good. Keep the writers confused. Yeah, confusion's good if you just give in to it.
So when the show was originally conceived, it was written with a 5-year story arc in mind when it was originally conceived, and then it went past that point and sort of went into new territory and everything.
Yeah.
How much input did you have creatively, or did you take opportunities to say Lionel should do this, Lionel wouldn't do that, or were there storylines that you pushed to say I think we should go in this direction?
No, they came up with, all those wonderful things themselves. The one thing I kept telling Alan Miles is when they get rid of me, I think really that Lex should kill me. So then he'd have to deal with patricide for the rest of his life, so.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were planning that, but that's indeed what they did, so I always thought that was my idea. He pushed me out the window. He killed me.
Have you ever seen Smallville? What's
Smallville?
Now, how about you? I mean, both of your characters actually aren't an established canon. Of course, Smallville sort of had its own little history or place in the DC universe that it created for itself. But what did you guys bring to it? You didn't feel hamstrung to have to be Clark Kent or Lana Lang or Lois or anybody like that, no established character. So you were free to kind of create these guys yourselves.
I'm sure for both of it was very freeing. Yeah, I had I could do anything if I wanted. What upset me was when they started asking me to shade in my white here in my beard and make it darker. I thought, no, wait a minute, older men can be sexy. That's right. Notice all the women that are clapping right now. Yeah. So I did it, but not happily. But when I came back for that 10th season, I said, no more mascara on my beard.
It was really freeing to play someone that wasn't in the comics and wasn't in the mythos because, I don't know, I think it made her more human. She could change her mind more often. I feel like characters in comics and in stories that are written specifically in this genre are either light or they're dark, and they sort of have to follow that storyline. Whereas Tess could go all over the map, and that was just how she was.
So that must have been a lot of fun to be able to play all those different sides of that same character, because there wasn't a straight line for that character really, and you just never knew. Were you surprised with the directions that they took the character at times? When you'd get a script and sit down and go, okay, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I think I was surprised sometimes, but I also was excited about it. You know, she couldn't stay that like hard staring, cold, makeup wearing bitch the whole time. She couldn't stay that the whole time. You can say that word on TV. It's a female dog. But she couldn't stay that the whole time. She had to change. So I was excited for it.
How did they tell you right away that you were my daughter?
No.
When did you find that out?
Season 10.
Did that excite you?
Yes. They dyed my hair red though. You know?
Did that excite you?
Yeah. Not as much.
I'm going to give these guys a minute.
We had a very unhealthy father-daughter relationship. I don't know if you remember. It was quite fun for me.
And gropey. Pretty gropey.
Because I'd only had illegitimate sons before. I think I had about 5 illegitimate sons. Some would come and they wouldn't like them and they would disappear.
Yeah.
Things disappeared a lot.
All right, let's get some more questions. How about some hands here? We got, let's head right to the middle of the room right over here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Tessa's story arc was one of my favorites, especially in season 10 with her redemption and how Clark helped her to redeem all the things she had done in the past. But she's also had a whole history of, in those 3 short seasons, she had a whole history of things happen to her. What was your favorite angle that they took with Tess as far as her storylines?
It's a really great question. I loved in season 8 when I got to go back and do the season where you saw me in the past with me and Justin Hartley. And then what I loved about season 10 was actually little Lex. I loved being able to be sort of motherly, and I think that instinct in her brought out more of her redemption and more of her humanity. And I loved getting to work with those little actors who I wanted to squeeze their faces because they were so cute. I want to squeeze your face too. It's too hot for that. Come
on. Seeing as we're talking about physicality, I want to actually talk about some of the stunts and the effects stuff that you guys had to deal with, because with that type of show, there's always that sort of stuff going on that you've got to either do stunts yourself or have somebody step in for you. How much of your own sort of stunt things did you do?
I watched Cass work her own episode where you were kicking the da-da-da-da-da off the... She was amazing. She was like a stunt woman herself. She was just so athletic and sexy, and it was just amazing the stuff she can do with her body.
I was worried about the B word. Thanks. I did do a lot of it because it's better if you can do it.
Yeah,
you know.
it's always better.
The only stuff that we really had stunt doubles for, that I had stunt doubles for, was stuff where I had to like fly through the air and land in a desk that shatters. Or like a lot of the scenes where I was being thrown across the room, like when Davis slaps me and backhands me and I go flying across into the wall. That was me. So it was fun, but we had great stunt coordinators, and you know, they made sure that everything was
the stunt
safe.
people were amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I watched myself be thrown from balconies and things.
Yeah. And they really do that.
Oh yeah.
They're like, just throw a mattress down there to catch me, and I'm like, what? Okay.
Is that kind of a surreal experience to see yourself go flinging out of a window or something?
Oh, yes.
But it's hard too. It's hard to. Sorry.
Well, we had a couple of stuntmen that were hurt very. Well, I mean, one was hurt very badly. I don't know if you remember when the cable broke and he fell how many stories down?
10.
Yeah, I mean that was very dangerous. And then Schneidy's double once in a thing in the kitchen. He went into the end of a cabinet and really, cut his ear. Just stopped. I mean, he laid there. Usually they get up pretty soon, and he just laid there because he knew that he'd really been hurt. Yeah.
I had a stunt girl break her face on the camera on the matte box. This is really fun stuff to talk about, huh?
But,
I'm all, she really hurt herself.
but some of these things are very, very dangerous. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of attention, and you know, they go through the moves and moves and moves. So there's when you're about to see a stunt happen, it can get very tense on a set. Yeah.
Okay, how about another question from the room here? Let's go back a little bit. There's a young fellow in the back corner there with his hand way up.
My question is for Mr. Glover. When you did the episode when you and Clark changed bodies, was it hard to act like Clark?
Yes, it was. You know, I'm used to, you know, being one. He did me great, and I couldn't. It was very hard for me to be not simple is the word, I guess, or pure, or just to do nothing.
That's true.
I kept wanting to do things all the time and they kept saying, no, Tom doesn't really do anything. Well, he doesn't have to. That's why he was so wonderful as Clark Kent.
He was born that way.
There was just this still wonderful thing, and I was busy. I call myself a propaholic. You know, I'm always looking for things to do, and he just was so simple and pure, and that was the problem that I had. I surprised myself how difficult it was for me. And he just found mannerisms from me and was, I thought, was heaven. Yeah. So, wasn't he great in that episode, Tom? Yeah.
So from an actor standpoint, I mean, being able to do, with episodic television like that, Smallville is kind of unique in the fact that you have opportunities like that to step out of your character. Because your character has different arcs and things, so there's a little movement. But to be able to step out to actually try to ape another actor and try to create that's kind of unique for a show like Smallville, for an actor to be able to do
and
that.
that's what I mean. There were all these things that the writers came up with that were so inventive and wonderful for us all to do. Yeah.
Okay, but another question. As long as you're back there, there's one a little bit further back. Actually, a lot.
I have a question. I have a question for both of you. Have you ever seen any of the other Superman series or the comic books? If you read the comic books, did you like them or the other series?
But when I was a kid, I used to watch the original Superman on prime time. I mean, I'm an old guy, so I remember that. And I used to do plays with Chris Reeve up at Williamstown, so those movies were wonderful. I didn't read the comic book though.
Yeah.
You a fan of Superman?
I have two brothers. One of them is actually named Clark, and isn't that weird? Yeah, he really was creeped out watching me on Smallville. Because I'd be like, Clark, and he'd be like, whoa! It was weird for me too, though. Tom really liked to make fun of me for that. And my eldest brother, Cassidy Freeman, is a voiceover actor for a lot of animation, and so sometimes I'll get inspired by him, but I wasn't really. I mean, I watched the movies, I think, like anyone did, but I didn't read the comics.
So you mentioned your brother Clark. Now you guys produced and acted in a film together, right?
We did, yeah.
What was your impetus to get into the producing? Just to create your own product, to create something that you could star in? Or?
You know, we kind of shared the producing thing. He was more of the the post producer. He dealt with things after, and I was more of the on set producer because I'm sort of a mom in that way, and I like to take care of people. And I knew that it was a really low budget film, and I wanted to make sure that. It was basically a horror film that a friend of ours from college wrote, and we got all of our theater friends from college, because I went to theater school. We got everyone together, and we made a movie in New Hampshire for 3 weeks.
Called Yellow Brick Road.
Called Yellow Brick Road. And so I produced so that I could be kind of in control of making sure that everyone was fed and everything was safe and taken care of. But it was a lot of responsibility, but really fun.
So now having that double duty of producing and the lead actress as well, was that like really daunting for you, or is it just another day at the office?
It was just another day at the opera. I think because I didn't have to answer to someone I didn't know. Like, I didn't have a director I didn't know. The directors that directed that had been directing me since I was 18, so there was a language between all of us, and we had the script well in advance, and we actually spent an entire week at Middlebury College rehearsing the movie as if it were a play. And so we were really comfortable with it, so I felt like I had enough energy to devote my time to two things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
John, producing-wise, have you gotten into any producing? Are you interested in that? To produce theater or doing directing?
No.
No, just straight ahead.
There you go.
You know what you want, and you go for it, and you like it, right?
Yeah.
And John also noticed that all the way in the back, in the very middle, there's a young fellow that's had his hand up for quite a while. So let's get back to him back there.
This question is from Mr. Glover, and I wondered if you liked being in Smallville or Gremlins 2 better, because I think you did a phenomenal job in both.
I had a great time doing both of them. I had to commute to Vancouver to do Smallville, and we shot Gremlins 2 at Warner Brothers, which was just about 15 minutes from where I lived. So that made a bit of a difference. Because Smallville was 7 years, and anyway. But my favorite scene in Gremlins 2 was when I put the gremlin down the paper shredder. And got spewed with all that green gremlin gook. It's a fun movie. I had a great time doing it.
Another one of your films, a holiday classic shown in my home every year, is Scrooge.
Scrooge.
You are awesome. I love that movie. It's got so much heart to it and everything.
Yeah.
You play such a rat in that. I mean, that's...
Yeah, a piece of L.A. Slime, I think they referred to me as. Bryce Cummings.
Yep.
And people, yeah. But I got to tell you, Bill Murray was so generous to work with. He's just terrific. And he's just, there's a movie that's going to come out soon where he plays Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we should all go see that and support Bill Murray, because he's terrific. And my friend Elizabeth Wilson is in it, who just turned 91. So we should go support Elizabeth Wilson, too.
All right, let's have some more questions here. Why don't you come back down this way a little bit? Oh, all right. Right over here.
Yeah, finally.
With such a strong hand.
I know. How could you say no?
Yeah.
It's like she's using the force over here.
Yes.
Hi, I would say I love both you guys. I drove here from New Jersey to see you guys. So.
That's a long drive.
Yeah. So my question is, you had said that you watched the old Superman movies. I know they had a lot of special guest stars on Smallville. Who was your favorite to work with, and why?
Well, you know, Chris Reeve did a couple of episodes, you know, when he was in the wheelchair. And it was because I'd worked with him when he was before his accident. And it was amazing to see how, I guess, spiritual he had gotten about work and life. So it was quite an eye-opening experience. So I would say Chris Reeve.
Okay, right around behind you there. Here we go.
Yes.
Okay, I have a huge.
This is the Luther celebration, by the way. This is no longer the Superman celebration.
My question is for Cassidy, and my thing is, okay, I loved Luther, the episode Luther a lot, and I wanted to know, how did you prepare for Test Earth 1 as opposed to Test Earth 2?
And how was it kissing Tom Lennon?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just daydreaming about that. He's tall. And he's very gracious. It was great kissing Tom Lennon. There's nothing wrong with kissing Tom Lennon. I recommend it to all of you. And it's funny because, here, I'll bring him here. Come on, copy that. Earth 2 test, that was a really good, it's a good question. I talked to our writers and producers about that, actually. And I saw Earth 2 test as kind of like a brat. I saw her as kind of like a rich girl, like Gossip Girl. You know what I mean? Like she got everything she wanted and she knew what she wanted and she didn't have a great relationship with her dad. And she was kind of a little younger, I think, and a little less immature, a little less mature, is how I tried to play her. Hope that came off. Yeah, good. No, we were angry with each other. You were upset that I was sleeping with my brother, which is weird, and then who's named Clark, even though my real brother was named Clark. You understand the levels now of how weird this job was for me. And remember, I like slammed the thing down and we fought. And where were you? You loved Clark more than me. Remember the photograph? And I slammed it down. You were drunk. It's okay. Forget it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Just kidding.
Okay. All right. Let's have another question. I take it right behind you, right directly behind you. There you go.
Who is it better to work with, Lex or Tom Welling? Because I bet every girl in this whole stadium, this tent right now, would rather work with Tom Welling.
That's a pretty good bet, I think. I think you're going to make your money on that one.
You could have more fun with Lex.
That might be true, actually.
I'm telling you.
All right, there. Head
Talk
right
to
over
me
there.
after, all right?
The private Q&A.
You should charge extra for that. You know that matters.
Yeah.
A Smallville After Hours.
Yeah.
No, you just need to check IDs at the door.
On HBO. We could do that on HBO.
On Skinamax.
You know, just when you think, you know, you're taking this left turn and all of a sudden,
Yeah, hard right.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm a huge fan of both of you, and huge
Thank
fan of
you.
Smallville, but I have a question about vampire numbers.
Yeah.
I want to know how was it kissing Damon?
Ladies, I'm not gonna lie, I've got a good job. Ian is actually a friend of mine, so it was very familiar and funny. And the fact that we were in a shower is also interesting. Y'all are like, I'm gonna TiVo that right now. He's a sweetheart, and he's also very gracious. But it's, I mean, if you really want to know the real answer, I mean, you know, it's not a problem kissing attractive men, or women for that matter. But it's not like, there's like 85 people watching you, you know what I mean? And they're all, head to the left! And you're like, really? I'm having a moment here. So just so you know, it's not the most intimate thing in the world, but it's definitely not a bad day at work.
Okay, Tara, come on back down front. We've got a little Supergirl right in the front row here. We want to get her.
Yes. Hi. What's up?
Why don't you go and stand up, sweetie?
Is that Hannah? Is your name Hannah?
Haley.
Oh, Haley.
Did you like your part a lot? Both of you guys?
Did you like your part a lot?
I loved my part a lot.
Yeah.
Some days.
Other days you wished you had my part? Some days I wished I had your part.
I had a good part.
You did. You had a really good part.
See, when this comes out on DVD, we'll have the...
Did you like your part?
I liked my part a lot. I did. A lot.
Are you an actress, Haley?
No.
No? What do you want to be?
A gymnast.
Okay, that's cool. What if you get really tall, though? See, I wanted to be a gymnast, and then I was like an Amazon, so that didn't work out. What's your backup plan?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay, cool. I think you got a little bit of time.
Maybe a veterinarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what, this guy over here has had his hand up a little bit, so let's get you going.
I wonder what's your thoughts as far as your bickering back and forth between your son, Lex, that you'd have to do over and over again throughout the series?
Well, like I say, because Michael's Michael, it was fun. I mean, we both realized that sometimes we'd repeat ourselves, but, you know, he found a way. He's very inventive. When it was happening sometimes, especially in the beginning, it could be sort of infuriating but then I realized, oh no, he knows exactly what he's doing. So we found a way to play.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, we had a good time. And I miss him.
Okay, one last question down in the front row here.
What's your guys' favorite episode?
Oy, God.
You have like 140.
It said I was in 145, which I didn't realize. I think you remember the one where Martha, I have to rescue Martha? Yeah, that was fun to do. I don't know if I watched it though. Was it any good when it was on? Yeah, I was just hanging for that. But that was a lot of fun.
I liked being a zombie, and I liked, yeah, right? And I liked killing zombies with my samurai sword. What?
When was this?
You weren't there.
This started as a family drama.
It was so fun.
I don't understand.
They were like, okay, you're gonna be a zombie, and you're also gonna kill some zombies. We need to do some samurai sword training. And I was like, copy that. Yeah, and then there was a scene where I was in the hospital right when I was becoming a zombie, and Erica and Tom came in, and we didn't really talk before the scene, and they came in to me in a hospital bed, and Erica was gonna ask me questions, and Tom was like, just give her a second. But I turn around, zombified, and like freak out, like blackened out teeth. I'm like screaming and gnashing, and it was pretty gnarly. And after they yelled cut, Tom was like, I don't want to do that anymore. He was frightened. I think I freaked him out a little bit. That, and then there was an episode where Chloe threw I always like the ones where I die. Where Chloe threw the needle in my heart, Uma Thurman style, and I came back. She killed me to save me, and then saved me to save me. And that was fun too.
She had healing powers, right?
Yeah, but I think she lost them by then. She had to do it with a needle in my chest. And then I had to wake adrenaline. I think it is. Anyway, I like those episodes. So there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been one of the weirdest panels I've ever done. But it's been a lot of fun. Let's give it up for Cassidy Freeman and John Glover. You guys are awesome.
You guys are awesome.
Folks, here's Carla. She has a little something that she'd like to share with you.
All right, well, first of all, I have to say, Stephen Kirk, you are awesome. You are the man. Dave did a great job. And John and Cassidy, you have been very gracious guests, and I know we're just halfway through the day here, but we have a special award we'd like to give out to our guest. And even though you guys are Luthers, we're going to go ahead and give you this anyway. But we have, this is an official. This makes you official. So if they bring Smallville back and they make you characters, you can be a Superman now. Because this is the Superman of Metropolis Award.
I think they earned it, don't you? Thank you very much, everybody. And I guess you guys are going to go over and do a lovely little photo op with our little Superman statue over there. So why don't you guys head on down this way. Once again, Cassidy Freeman and John Glover, everybody.